While departing the planet Manon, we suddenly get caught by a Sith interdictor ship tractor beam. This is Aid's vessel, the Leviathan, who is Caden's old mentor. Ooh, the plot thickens. Now, how they tracked us, we're not sure. It's a minor issue, but it would be nice to know. And why they waited till we were in space. Always nice to know the bad guys' plot and their methods. And let's use the actual names here. This is Karth's nemesis, and his name is Kareth. Karth is against Kareth. Okay, just wondering if BioWare made a typo somewhere, switched the C with a K, and then just went, hey, that's a great name. Let's make him a nemesis. This is also the same ship that was at the head of the fleet that bombarded and destroyed Caden's home planet, including his wife. Or didn't completely obliterate his wife. He had enough time to go down there and hold her while she died in his arms. It was interesting. So lots of great motivation for a revenge plot, which Caden desperately needs because he's kind of mild-mannered. Or Raphael Sbarge voice acting is just so complacent and copacetic. It could be a combination. I'm not sure. So realize they're slowly being captured by a tractor beam. Shepard and Caden come up with this plan and have other teammates stage a rescue, while the three of them are taken captive. You get to choose any of your colleagues to not only break themselves out, but everyone else, under the theory that a giant ship like the Leviathan would be, or would not be, paying attention to lesser people of importance, and that these characters would have the capacity and strategy and skills to break out of a brig of an Imperial starship. This doesn't really make too much sense, as the player is contemplating how each individual character could potentially break out. Jolie could use Mind Force powers, Jack could use the Force to camouflage herself. Not sure how that works, which implies that the scanners that are on the ship aren't working or somehow faulty, or the guys that are escorting these people aren't doing a head count. Your mission could hack her way out of a cell somehow. T3M4 could seem the most logical choice, being a droid, and the droid can act all droid-like and pass off as just another working machine that's commandeered by the Empire. Canderous apparently has a healing factor. What does that mean? But I don't see how that has anything to do with plotting to break out of a cell in any believable manner. So while these choices are the basis for a plan, for example, let's choose mission.
Maybe I can goad the guards into making a mistake. If I get them mad enough, they might put me in a separate cell to punish me.
That's not a clear or well thought out plan. I was hoping for some insight into Imperial door technology or locking mechanisms. If this is the idea, then we should have just chosen Jolie so he could use his force powers to mind control the guards to let him out of the cell. Mission, your job was to somehow hack out of the cell, not hope for the guards to make a mistake. Enough for you to then get them angry to put you in a separate cell. That would imply a more secure cell than the others. That's the opposite of what we want.
It's a risk we have to take, Big Z. I can slice my way free of any security cell. Don't worry, I can pull this off.
Okay, so the idea is that she can just hack her way out of any security cell, because she said so. But that doesn't imply a potential standalone cell she would be thrown into is purely electronic, and that said independent cell would be even more secure. Prisoners don't have too many tools when they enter a cell, so what the devil is she going to do, and how? The choice of Jack is kind of simple. She can mask herself whenever the guards come to find her, but again, that doesn't mean the scanners on the Leviathan would detect her, and the guards are ultimately dumb if you don't do a head count. So we just go with Jack's camo plan, and we get a cutscene with Zaid. Caden swears he'll kill him, and then this line slips.
The Dark Lord would probably reward me if I just killed you once and for all, but he may want to question you given the trouble you've caused him, and the history between you. You mean, oh, this can't be true, can it? You really don't know what's going on here, do you? Well, I won't be the one to deprive Malak of the pleasure of telling you himself.
Oh, so we have some hidden history with Malak. How unexpectedly blatant. So we play the torture game where if we don't answer a question, our teammates will suffer. He asks you where the Jedi Academy is located, and you try to persuade lie, and Shepard lights up. This was all a trick, since he already knew of the Academy on Dantooine, which they have already destroyed. He then asks what our mission is, and we try yet another persuade lie, which is to kill Malak. That doesn't work, and, well, Jennifer gets a workout.
No! Pain!
And one more take, this time a bit less believable.
Is in order.
No! No! I beg you, no! Mercy! No!
Maybe not the best way to keep going. The acting seems to be decreasing as we go. Time passes, and it turns out we were tortured while we were passed out. I'm not sure what that exactly means and how it's torture when you're unconscious, but maybe they did some lasting physical damage to our legs, or I have no idea. There's an interesting one-sided conversation of Shepard stating she wouldn't be strong enough to spare to watch us in pain, and thus she wouldn't have given Zaid the information he wanted. But that only coincides with her previous story of admitting her feelings before this scene to us in the previous conversations that the narrator wanted us to have. So Shepard was essentially set up to act this way or to feel this way naturally within the events of the story.
We should have felt a disturbance in the Force when the attack came. The fact that we did not is a bad sign. I fear the dark side is growing stronger, casting shadows our vision cannot pierce.
This is an interesting statement because it's Shepard's belief is that the dark side is strong and growing to the point that the Jedi on board could not detect the attack on Dantooine, several light years away. This implies that they could experience destruction or some kind of force sensitivity to pain and death, very strong and very far, apparently. So only with A New Hope do we believe that Obi-Wan can sense such things from far away, but that's on a planetary level with millions of lives being snuffed out instantly, and the Jedi Academy was maybe a few dozen people, we're not sure. Additionally, this points to another fallacy with the Jedi, their lack of foresight or ability to predict the future. But is this even a skill set that Shepard, Jolie, Jack, or ourselves even possess? I don't think so. We see visions of the future in dreams and only very slight things very quickly, like the location of a star map, and then it's poof. So either Shepard's feeling very distraught for her weakness of being unskilled in the Force, which she has mentioned before, or this is simply the great flaw that all Jedi are facing now, the hopelessness through tragedy that they can't prevent. The idea or feeling that something is that Revan and Malak did not shy away from, even undoing their Jedi discipline to stop greater tragedies from the Mandalorian Wars. That's one of the themes of the story. So Jack in this case is literally invisible, like stealth field invisible. Then she power attacks a Sith guard in the back with a lightsaber. No mention of how she got on board or why they missed her, how'd she sneak on, or whether they scanned the ship. She's just on board. Jack can literally break a force field with her lightsaber. No machines, no emitters, just the actual field. It's amazing. I didn't know you could do this. She one-mans the entire breakout and pretty much slaughters every Sith in her path. No one cares. So we have a plan to get to the Leviathan's bridge, as that's the only location on the ship to open the docking gates that house the Ebon Hawk. Caden wants to come too, since he has that whole revenge plot thing going for him. Cool. This is kind of crazy, though. We're literally taking over a gigantic Imperial ship, commandeering its bridge, just to open the docking bay. I imagine the entire ship would come after us, and we're only taking 3 people with us, while everyone else just escapes to the docking bay. Like, this should be a major military operation. I mean, couldn't Mission have just hacked the docking bay doors open when we got there, or from here, or wherever? Or maybe T3M4 could do it. He's a droid. No one's going to think a droid is against them. This is all one big contrived bad idea. So we get to the bridge, an alarm has been rung. We take out 2 guys in a hallway, and the bridge level is gigantic. It's almost ridiculous as to not having elevators immediately connected to the bridge itself, like you see in other science fiction shows or games. And instead, we have these long hallways and interconnecting rooms. There's storage rooms, there's beds in these large empty rooms. It doesn't quite feel like a military command floor of a ship, or any floor of any military ship. We do eventually face a Dark Jedi Master in the med bay who spins us like a top. This is all, remember, the bridge floor. I'm kind of curious who designed this ship and whether or not a Dark Jedi Master would have been good at interrogating a Jedi Knight or 2 Padawans or A gray Jedi? Just maybe. So apparently the bridge is in lockdown, and we have to spacewalk to get there. Okay, this is cool. Getting a bit awkward, though. You'd think our lightsabers, which could pierce through security fields of pure energy, would have no problem cutting through metal doors, but I guess this way works too. We're just slowly moving defenseless people in spacesuits on a spacewalk along a magnetically controlled ramp. No problems here. Interestingly enough, this de-equips your weapons as soon as you re-enter the ship to fight. Gee, thanks, game. Why did that happen? You finally make it to the bridge, as it's this inclined plane to walk up to, and it's a small chat for us, and then we just kill everyone. And you can tell Kaidan what to do. You kill Zaid, you don't, or you give the third option of, yeah, this really doesn't matter, we really need to leave right now. So Zaid dies rather slowly while Kaidan talks through it, looking directly into the camera, which is always a bit awkward with Kaidan.
We're your friends.
It can't be true, can it? No, it can't. Damn you, Saul. Damn you.
Kaidan's about to reveal some sort of secret, but Shepard says she'll talk to everyone about it later. We really need to leave, so okay, let's go. So instead of figuring out how to commandeer the ship, we decide to just go with our original plan and escape on the Ebon Hawk. So we slaughter everyone, presumably, on the bridge, as we didn't destroy the console that controls the hangar, because that would be really embarrassing if we couldn't open the docking bay gates after walking all the way down here, and had to trek all the way back because someone else locked us out in some other console on this giant ship that we didn't kill. And Shepard starts slaughtering everyone, and then Darth Malak comes out of the hangar bay. We finally get the reveal cutscene telling us that the Jedi don't kill their prisoners. Instead, they merely mind rape them and turn them back into Jedi. Why not? There were numerous other clues throughout the story, but they only show a few where exceptions are made, in our case by the Council, to teach us, and of course Kaidan. In terms of a pattern in storytelling, this is called the reveal, so one of your options is to consider this as one giant Sith lie. It's not quite as revealing as, let's say, Darth Vader being Luke's father, but it's somewhere in that ballpark of dramatic reveals. Some would call this a plot twist, but in my definition, and by the way the game works, you can either be light or dark-sided, so your aspirations or background information of your identity don't actually alter the plot. It does give the player a different perspective on it, and your character is not suddenly a different character. No memories pop up and now you're Revan or you're partially Revan or anything like that. It's just still you, the player character, just with knowledge that, oh, I used to be Revan. The Revan personality is just not there. You are your own person, and you're still after the Starforge, and you're still here to stop Malak, so nothing really has changed. The only other major problem with this scene is the tension is gone. I guess the drama of the reveal might hit you, but there's really no action. There's no immediacy. Malak is just expo dumping, and then Shepard has some, and it's like, hey, this is a big secret. And okay, so essentially you want reveals in any story to be more than just, oh, that's what happened or that's what was. They have to be meaningful on multiple levels. Some connection to the plot or someone's plot, and you can argue that, Shepard, this was part of her plot, but she was going to reveal this to us anyway. She's now forced to through Malak, even though she was previously about to because of Kaidan forcing it, and now Malak and Kaidan already knew. So essentially, everyone in the room knew except for us. Great. Again, the drama is there the first time a reveal is given. It's like, oh, now I care about my character more, or these other characters more. But there's no further connection aside from the emotional realization. It doesn't change the plot, or the plot goal, or the story in any way. We're still the same character, we still have the same goals.
The Jedi hold all life sacred, even that of a Sith Lord. I could not just let you die, Revan, not if it was possible to save you.
Unless you're George Lucas. So, the Council created a new identity for you because Revan had knowledge of the Starforge. Instead of extracting that knowledge, which is odd since they had no problem wiping your memory and rebuilding a new personality, they had you retrace your steps across the galaxy to find out where the Starforge is located again. So Malak's like, We're doing this old school, freezes Shepard and Caden, and we get lightsabering. So you knock him down to half power, he then completely immobilizes you, and then he runs away. I mean, he could have totally gutted you there, but he runs away. Why? Well, this is awkward. You can't chase after him, so your buddies are still frozen. What are we doing now? Are we playing a maze game? You finally walk around the whole corridors, catch up with him, and we're at round 2. Then Malak freezes you properly this time. And this time Shepard pops up. Oh, she could open the door. Okay, great. So even though we were winning and we're probably going to be even better with more people, Shepard decides to sacrifice herself. The door closes, and instead of playing open the door tag with all the corridors we just did before to find Malak the second time, genius Caden is like,
The door's sealed. We can't get past. Come on, we have to get to the Ebon Hawk.
No, Caden. We just have to walk around. They're right there. Don't worry, we did it before. The door's open.
Bastila doesn't stand a chance against Malak, but we can't help her. Not here.
Yeah, I know not here, but we can just walk around. Apparently our lightsabers have moods and can only cut down doors at certain times. There are other corridors to get around to that room. Shepard had no problem opening a door. We should have no problem either. I at least have more tech skills into my tree than she does, so we can probably hack the door. Let's go.
We have to get off the ship and find the Star Forge. That's the key to beating the Dark Lord.
Listen, buddy, we just beat him twice already. He's got maybe 1 extra life behind him. We can totally stop him right now. There's no one else on this deck. And I'm quite sure we slaughtered everyone else on the ship. We could even call for backup from our entire team right now, who are just sitting there in the Ebon Hawk waiting for us. What is the rush? This is our complete plot goal, to stop Malak, aside from finding the Star Forge. We're right there. Let's do it. Come on.
Bastila sacrificed herself so we could get away. We can't let her sacrifice be in vain. Come on!
No kidding. She's right behind this door. It'll take 30 seconds to walk around. We can make it hack it. We can lightsaber it. Honest, let's just do this. But the plot and the invincible door won't let us, so we can't. And we have to escape. We then get another turret spaceship scene and then go to lightspeed, because we can't go lightspeed while we're shooting at enemies, apparently. So Jolie tells us that Malak probably kept her alive for her battle meditation, and we want to go back and save Shepard, but Caden's like, whoa, hey, we gotta tell everyone you're Revan first. Well, Mission is like spouting the Geordie LaForge look. Caden says, but they bombed my homeworld. And Kenris is like, no, that was Malak. And Caden's like, oh, yeah, but can we trust you? And Caden, Revan was Malak's master. Revan wanted to conquer Telos. He didn't exactly care how, although I imagine he wasn't too thrilled with Malak if he killed them all. We can't say exactly for sure what happened. Either way, Revan was in charge while Malak ordered the bombing of his homeworld. But again, we don't remember being Revan.
What about me? I already knew who you were, though it wasn't my place to tell you. Better off that you know, if you ask me.
And then Jolie's like, yeah, I knew you were Revan, but I didn't want to tell you. It was none of my business. Jolie's just so awesome at all of this. Candace is basically, oh yeah, Revan, all right, let's do this. So we immediately go to sleep, toss and turn, but have no visions, which is odd since we just revealed ourselves to be this big bad character. And we use the Force to have visions for the future, but apparently nothing. Just nothing at all. And then we just land on some unknown planet. Great.